This is a big deal. It's a new study that's out this week that says sugar could increase your risk for breast cancer. Except what's concerning to me is sugars are found in just about everything. So let's sort all this out with Dr. David Soria, our medical expert.
Hi.
All right, what gives here? Because sugar is in everything. Does it exclude fruit? Is it processed sugar?
Well,
What
that's something that's being looked at. I mean, one thing's for sure. Here in the United States, in the Western diet, we know that the average American consumes over 100 pounds of sugar a year. Now, that's more than any other country. So we love our sugar. All right. Now, this is a breakthrough type study because you're never going to really be able to prevent anything unless you know the risk factors. And so breast cancer, we know, is second only to heart disease as far as a killer of women. So it's very important that we try to discover exactly what could be contributing to it. And so this study, I think, is adding to some of the mystery as to why more and more women are being diagnosed. So what this study did out of MD Anderson was separated two groups: sugar in mice and diet with no sugar, or a starch control diet. And what it showed was that the mice that ate the sugar diet, and that included fructose and sucrose, over a 6-month period, had almost a 2-fold increase in mammary tumors.
So what about women eating apples and oranges and other fruit?
Yeah, you bet. So one thing that the study didn't do is it didn't really relate a causality, meaning that we don't know why sugars would contribute to the growth of breast tumors. So much more research is going to be warranted as a result of this. Now, does this mean everybody stop eating sugars? No, it doesn't mean that. But it does mean that we need to keep our eyes out for more information, because it is alarming. There wasn't an insignificant increase in the amount of breast tumors. So, and it was fructose that's found in fruit as well as processed sugar. But the biggest culprit, just so you know, is the processed sugars. High fructose corn syrup was the biggest culprit.
Would there be a connection then that because that is in candy and other, quote, bad foods, that's all contributing? It's processed, it's got a lot of preservatives, that it's contributing to the other things, factors that may cause cancer?
You bet. I mean, it's not as if the foods that we're eating or the foods that we eat can be all separated out, and the only thing that we can attribute it to would be the sugar within them. There could be other things as well. As we know, in a lot of the foods that we eat, there's preservatives and chemicals and all kinds of different things that could be the actual culprit, and we're just ascribing it to the sugars themselves.
Real quickly, how much sugar should we have a day?
Well, I think that's obviously going to be dependent upon you and how many calories you burn. I mean, remember, sugars are taken in as carbohydrates and then burned as calories. So if you're an active person, you can afford to eat more sugars. But the reality is this: there's better ways to get your carbohydrates. If you can eliminate sugars almost altogether, you're always better off, because there is no nutritional value in sugar.
Keep that on the New Year's resolution list, then, right?
It's a tough one.
Thanks, Dr. Soria.
You bet.